Hey, what's up, guys? Scott here, back once again with another video. Today, I'm going to be talking about the new upcoming MCU movie, or Marvel movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. The movie literally years in the making that people have been wanting, and I'm going to be talking about some of the supposed appearances besides the two leads that we're going to be seeing in the movie. So, let's get started. So, starring, obviously, we have our two leads, Deadpool and Wolverine, played by Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. They're the they're the main focus of the movie, so that's exciting enough in and of itself. Also, it's actually part of the MCU. It's the next MCU movie, so that makes it even more exciting because it's going to continue that story of the universe. But there's been reports of a lot of other characters showing up in this movie, so I made a list of all the characters I've read that have a good likelihood of showing up, so that have been reported. So first we have Daphne Keene as Laura Kinney or X-23. X-23. Uh, she originally played that role in Logan, which is a great movie. And she's not a little girl anymore. I mean, she's old enough now she could be a young superhero. So to have bring her back, I think would be a smart move, and I would love to see it. And have her actually come into the MCU and interact with Deadpool and who else? I mean, yeah, I think her showing up is very likely, and I would love to see it. Next, you have Jennifer Garner as Elektra. I love Jennifer Garner as an actress, and I really like uh, her as Elektra. I think she did well with what she was given in those movies. Now to see her back in the MCU, now through the multiverse, but still, this is the multiverse saga, right? So that's kind of the whole point. They're bringing in different versions of the same characters that can be played by different actors. So to see her Elektra come back, I think would be awesome. And she's confirmed. She has been confirmed for a while now. So definitely gonna see her. So sad to see her. Next we have Halle Berry as Storm. I'm gonna go 75% on this one. I think because uh, about a year ago when they were started filming the movie, Halle Berry had the white hair again, the Storm haircut. So I think she's a sure in for this movie, and I would love to see her. Um, and I mean, I would love to see anyone they bring in, but the character I have listed specifically, I would like to see brought in. So I'd love to see Halle Berry back as Storm, and I definitely think she's gonna be there. Next, we have Wesley Snipes' as Blade. Okay, so this one would be cool for uh, because they're supposed to be doing a MCU Blade movie with a new actor, Mahershala Ali. Apologize if I mispronounce it, but his Blade movie has been in development for a long time. So uh, I think bringing Wesley Snipes back as Blade would give the fans something of that regard to see an older version of Blade before bringing in the new Blade. So I think bringing Wesley Snipes back as Blade would be cool. So, and he's been definitely been reported by sources I trust that he's in this movie. So yeah. Next we have Chris Evans as the Human Torch. Now this would be kind of cool to see, and I mean Chris Evans obviously played Steve Rogers' Captain America in the MCU for years. So to bring him back as a character he played before all that, now older, I think would be cool, and it would tie into the whole, definitely tie into the whole multiverse aspect of things. Uh, so the first four I listed: X-23, Elektra, Storm, and Blade and Human. First five I listed: Blade and Human Torch. Those are all like kind of outliers of the main MCU, right? So, uh, and as are Deadpool and Wolverine, they have not, as far as I know, these characters do not exist in the main MCU universe, at least not yet. So this movie would be a great way to bring them into the main MCU universe via the multiverse. Now, these next few I have listed are main MCU characters, but I think would make sense to show up, maybe. First, we have Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. She's one of the main Avengers right now. She's now on Earth. She moved in. She's now based on Earth instead of traveling through space as of the end of the Marvels. And her friend Monica Rambeau is stuck in another universe with the X-Men because we see Beast at the end of the Marvels. So obvious connection there that she might show up. Uh, Next, we have Sam Wilson, or the new Captain America, or Falcon. So the reason I say this is because there was some promo art that came out a few months ago. In Total, I think it was Total Film Magazine. It had some art for the movie where you see Deadpool and Wolverine walking through the city, and you see on these buildings above them some silhouettes. And one of those silhouettes flying is clearly Falcon, clearly Sam Wilson, Falcon. So he's also one of the new main Avengers. I think it's going to have a big role going forward. So to have him show up, I think would be really cool. And then finally, of the main MCU heroes, we have Thor. Thor now. Thor has widely been uh, reported to make a cameo or an appearance in this movie. Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I think it would make sense because he's one of the OG Avengers, only one of the only original OG Avengers still left. Um, so to have him appear would have even more connectivity to the MCU. So I think those three main Avengers would make sense to show up. So just to recap on the hero side, we have X-23, Elektra, Storm, Blade, Human Torch, Captain Marvel, Sam Wilson, and Thor, and then of course Deadpool and Wolverine. So those are the heroes I would love and I read are reported to appear in this movie in some capacity, or would make sense to appear. Let's talk about the villain side now. So Cassandra Nova, who is in simplest terms Charles Xavier's evil twin sister. There's a whole story behind it, but it's kind of complicated, so I don't really want to get into it. But essentially, she's Charles Xavier's evil twin sister. She's the main villain of the movie, and I'm sure they'll give her backstory in the movie. So, but in the trailer, we see so she's the main villain. We see she has a whole army of henchmen that are made up of villains from the older Fox X-Men movies. So, of those villains confirmed, we have Sabretooth, Lady Deathstrike, Toad, uh, Juggernaut, Azazel, and Pyro are all confirmed to appear in this movie as henchmen of Cassandra Nova. Uh, Pardon me. And also, we have kind of an underrated villain. We have the Russian from Thomas Jane's Punisher movie appearing in this movie too, because you can see him in the trailer. So, that's a good amount of villains on top of henchmen, on top of Cassandra Nova for Deadpool and Wolverine to have to deal with on their own. So, it makes total sense. Excuse me, that Deadpool and Wolverine will have to have some help finding these villains. So it makes sense for all these other heroes to maybe show up. So that's kind of over the confirmed villains we have. Cassandra Nova and then all the henchmen I just listed. Sabretooth, Lady Deathstrike, Toad, Juggernaut, Azazel, Pyro, and the Russian. Really good team of villains there. So now I have read a report. Excuse me, I have read a report that the villain for Avengers 5 will be introduced in this movie. So whether that be a new version of Kang, uh, I've read reports that we'll see a version of Thanos in this movie, maybe King Thanos in this movie. Uh, Maybe somehow at the end he escapes and comes to the main MCU. But however it goes down, I've read the main multiversal villain for Avengers 5 will be introduced in this movie. So that's pretty big news. So this movie has a lot going for it. And oh, and one other character I forgot to mention, I just saw on the good side, Channing Tatum as Gambit. I think has a good chance of showing up. So he's Channing Tatum was supposed to do a movie as Gambit before it got canceled. So to bring him back, I think makes sense for this movie. Um, so yeah, I'm excited for this movie. I hope this movie pleases fans and is fun. And not only is it a great movie in and of itself, it also sets up stuff for the MCU going forward with all these characters, right? So anyway, guys, that's kind of just it. And we'll talk more after the movie comes out. Thank you so much for watching, and peace out.